And we're working just simply leaning out and breathing out, parking back in. Lean out, breathe back in. The goal is to lean out from the hips and to stay parallel towards one another. So you're not leaning out this way, so you're not increasing the gap between the two of you front to front, but you're kind of going sideways. So essentially the lady's arm is across the man's back, across the arm, the lady's arm across the gentleman's chest. Then it maintains that same relationship. It goes across the man's chest. So this is going towards the man's right. This would be the same thing. It's going against the man's left. Just like side to side. We both are extending the hips slightly off to the side. Okay? So the goal is not to go too far off to the side, but just enough to be able to maintain the lean, okay? And not necessarily overpower one another. So the lady, or both of you guys, should not be able to kind of extend on your balance without one another, okay? You create a bit of support. So the lady doesn't overpower the man, okay? But she creates enough of the resistance for both of you guys to stay in this U-shape, V-shape. Okay? So next. What we're going to do now is we're going to go out of a back orchard, and the outside of my right foot is going to go towards the inside of Colin's left foot, right here. I'm going to come up and lean out. Just one more time. In the beginning, it's side, step, up, out. Okay? So it's basically getting into the same step, but from the move. So side, back, ocho, parada, come up, lean out. Okay? Now, same thing, going on to the other side. So the other side is going to be a little bit more involved, so I'm doing a back ocho, collect, change, same position. Come up and lean out. So from here, out, into it. Nice. Next thing. So what I want you guys to think about is we're going to start the default exit out of this step for the lady would be a step forward, or this movement would be a step forward. So I'm here, and I'm going to guide her to step forward like this. Okay? As she steps forward, I'm turning my shoulders slightly towards her. And my goal is to stop her from overstepping too much. So I want her to step down, but not necessarily lift the back leg. When she does that, we're doing the movement by creating an arc in her step. So she's at an angle, and she's curving into the step itself. Okay? So ladies, don't keep the leg too tight. So when the man is creating centrifuge, you're essentially drawing a semicircle on the floor. So you're here, and you're creating a semicircle into the step. Okay? Now, next thing. And the equivalent of this movement would be I am doing this step, leaning her out, and I'm going to do exactly the same step. So this is exactly the same thing. Now, so if I do want to create a wrap, so the last portion of the step will be creating a wrap. So I send her out, I initiate that arc, and I bring her towards me. Instead of allowing her to step down, as she's going through that arc, I'm bringing her towards me. And we end up being hip to hip with one another. Okay? Again, step, step, connect, open up, create the arc, come up, she does the wrap. Go out there, lean out again. By default, guys, there is no wrap. By default, there is a step. So whenever in doubt, just step forward. Okay? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, step, and out. Okay? And now, to kind of like add on to what we did last week. So last week we did exactly the same thing, but instead of doing the back orchard, we actually did the barriga. So when I'm here, I'm in this position. Okay? So the outside of my left foot is connected to the inside of her right foot. Okay? So now, when I'm doing my barrida, it's exactly the same position. Okay? Except now, what I'm doing is I'm sending her off to the side. That's all. So she was here, she's going directly to the side, onto here. Same arc, same bringing herself upwards, and step out. Exactly the same thing. So that's going to be something for you guys to work on. So that's the movement. And lastly, she's going to the side, same arc, come up, and forward, step